Hi, today is April 3rd, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 513 for the year, The Hand of Chalamet. Over the weekend, I watched A Complete Unknown, and if I wasn't already a Timothée Chalamet fan, I am now. But for the record, I already was. I found myself noticing some extremely small and subtle choices that the actor made. Like, for example, the way the hand of Chalamet gripped the chain-link fence as his ex-girlfriend got on the ferry from Newport back to New York. His face was in the shot too, but I couldn't look away from the hand of Chalamet, the gripping, grasping, desperate hand of Chalamet. Poem number 514, about enough of that. When you said, I think that's just about enough of that, I couldn't help but think that you were wrong. I was thinking that wasn't nearly enough of that. I was thinking I could stand a lot more of that. I was thinking that your capacity for that is not nearly as great as mine. I was even thinking about saying something to you about how your lack of capacity is probably not serving you well. But then I thought that perhaps my excess of capacity doesn't serve me well, so I remained silent and left you with the amount of that meets your capacity, while I continued to look for more. Poem number 515, Combs. If you were to run a comb through your hair and big globs of hair got stuck in it, you would probably think that was a shitty comb. But if you're a bee and the comb held globs and globs of honey in it, you might think that comb was fucking awesome, which just goes to show not all combs are alike. Poem number 516, As Far as It Could Go. When you said we had taken this as far as it can go, once again I disagreed with you, but rather than trying to take it further or trying to convince you that we could take it further, I just let it go and stopped trying to take it further. This time I didn't contemplate capacities. I didn't speculate about who was or wasn't being served well. I just let it go. And ultimately I decided that if you believe we have taken this as far as it can go, then we have taken this as far as it can go. So I guess I agree with you after all. I guess that one should be called As Far as It Can Go, not As Far as It Could Go. I'll change that. And the last poem today, poem number 517, The Mud. Drag it through the mud and let it get heavier and more muddy until it is impossible to say where it ends and the mud begins. Drag it through the mud as it sings its swan song, and as the swans join in with it, and as the swans join it in the mud, and the swans get heavier and more muddy until it is impossible to say where the swans end and where the mud begins. Drag it and the swans through the mud until the mud itself no longer knows where the mud begins and ends, or where the swans begin and end, or where it begins and ends. It will be a long and slow drag with it and the swans through the mud, and when it and all and everything and the swans are all covered with mud, then rest and offer gratitude and congratulations for a job well done. All right, that is it. I thank you. And I appreciate you.